Figuring out where you're going to spend your retirement, well, it's so much more than just finding a new house, right? It's really about mapping out the next huge chapter of your life. So today, we're going to unpack this massive decision by looking at a real-world example in Buford, Georgia, to see what your options really look like. Okay, let's get into it. You know, for so many folks who are 55 plus, this is the big question. Do I go for a condo, a townhome, or maybe a smaller single-family house? Each one seems to promise a totally different kind of retirement lifestyle. But is it really just about the purchase price? Well, as we're about to see, there is so much more to it. Exactly. I mean, we are not just comparing granite countertops and square footage here. We're talking about how you're going to spend your time, your money, and your energy for the next couple of decades. This one decision is going to have a ripple effect on your daily life, your financial security, and your overall well-being. And the stakes? They're really high. Getting this wrong isn't just some minor inconvenience. It can literally lead to a super stressful, super expensive second move later on, or it could hit you with thousands of dollars in costs you just didn't see coming. The whole goal here is to get it right the first time. So, let's start with the thing that's probably on everyone's mind first: the money. We're going to do a deep dive into what the total monthly costs actually look like for each of these options, using real market data for a $450,000 home right there in Buford. Okay, so the first thing that just jumps right off this chart is that price gap. A single-family home costs you about $300, even $400 more every single month than a condo or townhome at the exact same price. So, where is all that extra cash going? This table really lays it all out. See, the mortgage payment is the same across the board. But then look at the other lines. For the single-family home, that estimated maintenance and lawn care number is a huge chunk of the budget. On the other hand, your homeowner's insurance is way cheaper for a condo, even though the HOA fee is higher because, well, it's covering all that exterior upkeep for you. And when you zoom out and look at the big picture, that monthly difference becomes absolutely staggering. Over 20 years, just choosing a condo over a single-family home in this scenario could save you more than $76,000. I mean, that's a huge amount of money that could be funding your travel, covering future healthcare, or just being passed on to family. Okay, so the cost difference is pretty clear, but this decision isn't just about what's in your bank account. Let's move on, because what you're really choosing here is how you want to spend your most valuable resource of all, your time. This slide really gets to the heart of the lifestyle trade-off. It really boils down to this. On one side, you've got condos and townhomes, which offer you predictable monthly costs and way less hands-on work. And on the other side, you have the single-family home, which gives you total control, sure, but also a lot more personal responsibility for all the upkeep. You know, a lot of people see HOA fee and just groan, right? But it really helps to think of them as a service, not just a bill. You're basically prepaying for someone else to worry about the roof, to cut the grass, and to maintain the pool. You're trading your personal time and the stress of surprise repairs for one fixed, predictable monthly payment. All right, let's shift gears to something that is absolutely critical, but honestly, it's the part people forget about the most. We need to talk about planning for the person you're going to be in 10, 15, or even 20 years from now. Let's look at the reality of aging in place. Wow, just look at that number, 1%. Only 1% of homes in the entire country are actually built with the features we need to age comfortably. That's just staggering. And it means that if you want to stay in your home for the long haul, you have got to be proactive about it. So what does that mean for you? Well, it means you need to be on the lookout for a few key things. The biggest one, for sure, is single-level living. No stairs means a much lower risk of falls. But you also want to look for the little details, like zero-step entries from the garage or sidewalk, doorways wide enough for a walker, and bathrooms that are already set up for safety. And I know what you might be thinking. Oh, I'll just deal with that later. But consider this. Buying a home with stairs today could mean you're facing a renovation costing tens of thousands of dollars down the road to make it livable. Planning for this now can save you an incredible amount of money and stress later on. So, speaking of huge costs, let's circle back to the finances for a minute. We just saw how planning for your future health has a massive financial impact. So now let's look beyond just the monthly bills and get the bigger long-term picture of savings. So this isn't just about one big saving. It's a bunch of different things that really start to add up.
We've talked about dodging those big emergency repair bills, but look here, there are also huge savings on insurance and property taxes. For instance, condo insurance can be 60 to 70% cheaper because you're only covering what's inside your walls.
And this is where it gets really interesting if you're looking in this specific area around Buford. Seniors have access to some incredible property tax breaks. I mean, depending on your age and your income, you could potentially wipe out your school taxes, which are usually the biggest part of the bill, or in some cases, even get rid of your entire property tax bill. That's a total game changer for your annual budget. Okay, I know that was a lot of information. We've covered costs, lifestyle, long-term planning. It's a lot to juggle. So let's boil it all down into a super simple framework that can help you make your final choice. Really, to figure this out for yourself, you just need to answer 3 simple questions. First, would you rather spend your time doing maintenance or spend your money to have someone else do it? Second, and be really honest here, how long do you see yourself staying? Is this a 20-year plan or closer to 10? And third, how do you feel about community rules on things like pets or what you can put on your porch? And what's great is that your answers point you directly to a solution. So if your priority is maximum convenience and zero maintenance, a condo is probably your best bet. If you're thinking, I want that easy single-level living, but I still gotta have a little yard, then a ranch-style townhome could be perfect. And if you value total freedom and actually enjoy yard work, then the single-family home is the clear winner. So, at the end of the day, it comes down to this. The best decision comes from a really honest look in the mirror. You have to think about your future health, your financial situation, and most importantly, what you want your retirement to actually feel like. Do you want to spend your Saturdays managing contractors, or would you rather be out exploring the world? And that leaves us with this final thought. Don't just buy a home for the person you are right this second. Choose the home that's going to serve the person you're going to be in 10 years. That right there is the key to making a choice that brings you joy and peace of mind for decades to come.